afternoon. This is Sanana.
And this is Rahul.
And you're watching CityCast.
Welcome to our third edition. We will start the bulletin with the story on farmers in Bangalore. They are facing losses due to poor yield of kharif crops and are getting worried about their standing crop. Our reporter Rupert Chaube tells us more.
Farmers in Bangalore say they are experiencing crop failures and poor yield for kharif season due to prolonged dry spells. Earlier, they cultivated 8 to 10 quintals of ragi from 1 acre of land, which has now reduced to 2 to 3 quintals. Crop insurance schemes provide some relief to the enrolled farmers. The Agriculture Department say that only 21 to 22% of the sown area is insured under such schemes.
ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಬೆಳೆ ಕೇಳಿ 20-30 ಸಾವಿರ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿ ಲಾಸು.
State government of Karnataka has declared 195 taluks as drought hit this year and asked for the compensation of 4,860 crores from the centre.
फार्मर्स का सिचुएशन तो बहुत खराब है. समझो एक तरफ तो बारिश नहीं है, एक तरफ केआरएस का पानी तमिलनाडु को जा रहा है, उनको बेसिक एमिनिटीज नहीं मिल रहा है. According
to the Indian Meteorological Department, the rainfall deficit of 21% has impacted the soil.
Your farmer has to adopt some of the irrigation technology, water use efficiency, soil moisture conservation through mulching, drought-resistant crop variety, adoption of drought-resistant crop varieties.
Prolonged dry spell have resulted in a poor cultivation and standing crops in the kharif season. Farmers who are dependent on rain are facing a crisis and hoping for a better rabi cultivation. Rupert Chaube for CityCast.
Bangalore has the largest area of green office spaces. Our reporter Samriddhi tells us about the growing demand for sustainable buildings.
CBRE report shows a 26% increase in green office spaces in past 5 years. Bangalore has more than 100 million square kilometers of green office area. This is followed by Delhi and Mumbai. Investors say the demand for green buildings is a result of increasing awareness towards environment.
The requirement coming from the buyers also, at the same time the pressure is coming from the authorities also.
Architects say sustainable buildings pay back in the long run, but initial costs incurred are high.
We try to minimize energy using efficient use of materials. So there are builders who just for marketing get the LEED certificate.
For a building to be fully sustainable, its construction, design and operation has to be environmentally friendly. Sustainability experts say this approach is just a small step towards reducing our carbon footprint.
I've always been thinking that sustainability probably is for the elite class, right? To ensure that sustainability reaches the masses, and that's the reason we have targeted the lower income housing group.
According to the Department of Energy, green buildings help reduce energy consumption by 40% in the long run in comparison to traditional buildings. Such buildings also help in biodiversity conservation, waste reduction and natural resources preservation. This is Samriddhi Singh for CityCast.
NGOs dependent on corporate social responsibility funds say that their activities are getting affected. Our reporter Sunena tells us why this is happening.
NGOs say that they are concerned that the 18% GST on corporate social responsibility expenditure for companies is affecting their projects. CSR professionals say this affects the quality of the work. Due to this, they have to engage in other ways to generate funds.
We actually reduce the number of kids that we are supporting, and when we do that, of course, the reach is lower, everything is lower, and we have to figure out other ways of generating funds. It becomes very tricky because you need so much more bandwidth.
Team leads EdTech says after the levy of GST, the impact of CSR activities has been affected. India Cares Foundation says while companies give 2% of their net profit to the CSR, they also have to pay an 18% GST on the goods and supplies that they buy to execute the project. This affects the overall grant funding provided to NGOs to run the project.
Now you have to do a little bit lesser, maybe 25% lesser, or if you want to take it is 18% lesser than what it would go otherwise, because the CSR budgets can't change. I mean, that's 2%. So within the 2%, if they remove that 18% and say where we used to use it for actual groundwork, now that much will reduce.
Financial experts say that this is an additional tax on companies since they anyway have to pay a corporate tax on their profits.
That you particularly used for the CSR activity obviously needs to be taxed. That way we can look at it. But in spite of that, if they show that goods and services for this particular activity can be exempted, if they actually tweak the law a bit.
Social workers say that reducing the amount of the GST imposition from 18% might help the case. For CityCast, this is Sanana. We'll be right back after a short break, after which we'll tell you about footpath encroachments.
Welcome back. Street vendors continue to occupy footpaths despite efforts of BBMP to clear footpath encroachments. Our reporter Akshay has the report.
The street vendors continue to encroach the footpaths as they do not have any alternative place. They say they are aware that they cannot sell on the footpaths, but customers find it convenient.
നമുക്ക് പെർമിഷൻ ഇല്ല. അതായത് പോലീസുമാരുടെ പോകേണ്ട സമയത്ത് നമ്മൾ പോകണ ഇവിടുന്ന്. നമുക്ക് ഒരിക്കലും ഫുട്പാത്ത് കച്ചവടത്തിന് നമുക്ക് പെർമിഷൻ തരുന്നില്ല.
In 2021, the Karnataka High Court had ordered the BBMP to clear all the footpath encroachments within the city. BBMP says it has been actively clearing the encroachers but find it is difficult to maintain.
For 2 years before ഒരു order ഉണ്ട്. ആറിന് ഒരു ഇതിൽ പരിധിയിൽ എല്ലാം ഇടയ്ക്ക് ക്ലിയർ ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട്. അവർ വണ്ടി സീസ് ചെയ്യും, അവരെ വെയിറ്റ് സ്കെയില് അത് സീസ് ചെയ്യും, അവർക്ക് ഫൈൻ ഇടും.
The last 2017 survey shows only 60% of the street vendors had licenses. Experts say BDA and housing societies don't make plans with street vendors in mind.
ಇವರು ಪ್ಲಾನೇ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ವೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಝೋನ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ವೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಝೋನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಲ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೂ ಆದಾಯ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು BBMP.
Unless BBMP is able to construct more spaces for selling, they will not be able to clear neither the congestions in KR market nor the plight of the street vendors. For CityCast, this is Akshay Lal.
Passengers find it difficult to board long-distance buses in Hoskote. Our reporter Jomel tells us why.
Due to a lack of proper bus stop facility, the long-distance buses in Hoskote stop at the National Highway. Passengers find it challenging for them to wait on the highway with their luggage. It becomes chaotic when they are not able to board the buses because of overcrowding.
और एक क्या है, ये इससे हम लोग का बहुत मुश्किल हो रहा है और रिस्क हो रहा है, ट्रैफिक भी बहुत ज़्यादा हो रहा है.
The KSRTC website shows there are buses at regular intervals at the stop. The closest bus station is 1 kilometer away, but only local buses use it. The KSRTC helpline says that the official stop for KSRTC buses is on the highway.
They need to be at least somewhere curved in towards the service road or curved in or deviated from the main flow of traffic. This way, the people could easily board into those public transport.
Experts say the proper planning of the bus stops in the city needs to be taken care of. With the proper implementation of bus stops, people won't have to wait for buses on the main road, and there will be an ease to the chaos caused by traffic as well.
Commuters says it is difficult for them to stand on the side of a national highway and wait for buses. Apart from KSRTC, there are a lot of local buses also with stops there. It is very risky for them as well as it causes traffic according to the commuters. For CityCast, this is Jomil.
Riders get stuck in traffic jam under Bangalore-Mysore expressway when it rains. Our reporter Pawan tells us more.
Bangalore-Mysuru expressway has rainwater from stormwater pipes pouring onto the roads below. This causes waterlogging on the roads and traffic jam. Commuters on the road or under the bridges say they cannot see with the volume of water from the broken
ಪೈಪ್ ಲೀಕೇಜ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಪೈಪಿಂದ ಬರೋ ನೀರನ್ನು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಯೇ ಬಿಡೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರು ಬೈಕ್ ಓಡಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ತುಂಬ ಸ್ಕಿಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಮಳೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಸರಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೋ
Such large infrastructure projects are designed to have stormwater pipes to collect water from top of the expressway and get connected to stormwater drains. This is an 8-lane expressway with an estimated budget of 8,066 crore by National Highway Authority of India. But still there are problems in this road. NHAI says we'll take a look into this.
In case of ponding on the overbridges or leaking of water through the rainwater pipes below the deck of the flyover, in such cases we issue notices to the concessionaire through our independent consultants of the project.
Urban developer says this creates a lot of problems. Here is what he says.
Regarding the elevated expressway, there is a lot of water leakages, and the best way to handle these water leakages are to ensure a proper stormwater management system.
With proper stormwater management system, we can solve this problem, says expert. Watching CityCast, this is Pawan Kumar, Bangalore.
After this break, we have some more stories lined up for you.
Welcome back. Health Department data shows an increase in hypertension amongst youngsters in Karnataka. Ishita Tyagi has this report.
Statistics from the Health and Welfare Department Karnataka indicate an 18% increase in hypertension among youngsters. This is around 90% of the overall increase. Patients talk about stress triggering their hypertension time and again.
I was first diagnosed with hypertension, I think back in 2022. It was kind of scary because it's related to your heart, and I have faced a problem of headache and problem related to like shivering of my body.
Doctors say hypertension further leads to many health risks like diabetes, obesity, and major health risks related to cardiovascular diseases leading to an heart attack.
It shoots up too high, which is persistent for longer time. It can lead to stroke, heart attack, kidney disease, and it can affect all other parts of the body also.
Another factor which leads to hypertension is genetics, along with a lethargic lifestyle among younger generation. Such cases are usually encountered by physicians.
Educating people that timely health checks are essential. So obviously when people come to us early, it could just be dietary and lifestyle changes which we can support them with, and majority do well just with this. But then if it is uncontrolled, obviously medications would help them help with their hypertension.
According to reports, hypertension cases are on increase due to unhealthy life choices. And if this continues to happen, we may put an entire generation at risk of cardiac diseases. This is Ishita Tyagi reporting for CityCast.
Transgender community hesitate to seek medical attention fearing discrimination. Our reporter Priyanka tells you why they are reluctant to address their health issues.
Study published on NCBI by Indian Journal of Plastic Surgery shows that despite the directives of the Supreme Court and the enactment of the Transgender Persons Act, many transgender and gender variant people in India struggle to access essential healthcare services.
तो एक नज़रे से देखता है कि ये क्या है, ये इनको क्या हो गया, तो एक डिफरेंट वे में देखता है.
Many activists and NGOs are coming up together with the hospitals and sensitizing them about their problems and have released guidelines on gender affirmative care.
हम यही कोशिश करते हैं कि अगर हमारे पास कोई इस तरीके से अगर आता है तो हम उनको यही सजेशन देते हैं कि आप स्टार्टिंग अगर अभी उन्होंने स्टार्ट नहीं किया है तो हम उनको ये बोलते हैं कि आप गवर्नमेंट के प्रोसेस को फॉलो करो.
Practitioners can address their health problems by building trust so that they can share their problems and respect their identity. Members of Medical Advisory Council NMC have also removed derogatory terms from forensic and psychiatric textbooks.
There should be like even systemic change in the curriculum itself, because a lot of these guidelines are now separate. A lot of this gets translated into how practitioners practice. So although this is coming from a larger systemic problem, there's a lot of power that practitioners like us hold, and we can bring a lot of change because of that power.
Though there are various policies and acts being implemented to help the transgender community people, still they face discrimination while addressing their health problems. This is Priyanka Saharia from CityCast.
That's all for today. Thank you for watching CityCast.